Most of your suffering doesn't come from others, it comes from the silent agreements you've made with the world. In this video, we break down the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, a powerful guide to emotional freedom, inner peace, and authentic living. You'll learn how to be impeccable with your word and why language shapes your reality. How to stop taking things personally and reclaim your emotional power. Why assumptions create suffering and how to replace them with clarity. The real meaning of doing your best. We believe we have to be perfect, that we must earn love, that other people's opinions define our worth. But there's another path. Ruiz offers 4 new agreements, simple yet transformative, that can help us break free from these internal prisons. Agreements that can guide us toward peace, clarity, and freedom. Today, we'll explore each one in depth and how to live them in a chaotic world. Because if your mind is a garden, these 4 agreements are how you reclaim the soil and plant something better. Be impeccable with your word. Your word is the power that you have to create. It is through the word that you manifest everything. This is the first and most foundational agreement. It might sound straightforward, be honest, speak kindly, but the idea goes far deeper. To be impeccable with your word means to speak without sin against others or against yourself. Think about it. How often do you say things like, "I'm such an idiot. I'll never be good enough. They probably hate me." We cast spells with our words internally and externally. Words shape perception. Perception shapes identity. Identity shapes behavior. And over time, these words become the architecture of your reality. Gossip, sarcasm, self-deprecation, they seem harmless. But every word is a seed. Are you planting weeds or flowers? Being impeccable means refusing to use language to damage. It's not about being overly polite or pretending everything's fine. It's about being in alignment, telling the truth with kindness, speaking life instead of death, uplifting instead of tearing down, not just to others, but especially to yourself. So next time you speak, pause, ask, is this true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Because words don't just describe your world. They design it. Don't take anything personally. We live most of our lives in reaction. Someone cuts us off in traffic, we rage. A stranger criticizes us, we obsess for days. A partner's silence feels like rejection. But Ruiz says, none of it is really about you. People act from their own conditioning, their pain, their programming, their expectations. When someone lashes out at you, it's rarely about who you are, it's about what they're carrying. When you take things personally, you place your self-worth in someone else's hands. It's like handing over the keys to your emotional well-being. Their praise makes you feel worthy. Their criticism makes you feel broken. You're on a roller coaster of validation. But imagine living with emotional immunity, where you could witness someone's anger without absorbing it, where you could receive feedback without spiraling, where your worth stayed intact no matter what they said. That's what this agreement offers, a deep, unwavering sense of inner peace. You stop needing to control others. You stop craving approval. You stop reacting and start responding. Remember, everyone's walking through their own storm. Let their weather pass through you, not define you. Don't make assumptions. Assumptions are shortcuts your brain takes to fill in the blanks. But often they're wrong and dangerous. We assume someone's ignoring us, that they meant to offend us, that they should just know what we're thinking. And when reality doesn't match our assumptions, we suffer, not from what is, but from the story we created about it. This agreement challenges us to replace assumption with communication. Ask the question. Clarify. Seek understanding. It sounds simple, but it requires courage, because real communication involves vulnerability. Instead of assuming your friend is mad at you, ask, are we okay? Instead of assuming your partner knows what you want, say it clearly. Instead of guessing someone's intent, get curious. Most conflicts, Ruiz says, are rooted in miscommunication. And most miscommunication begins with assumption. When we live in assumption, we live in illusion. But when we ask, when we clarify, we replace fantasy with fact and build trust in the process. Always do your best. The final agreement is the glue that holds the others together. It acknowledges that you're human, that some days you'll fail to be impeccable. You will take things personally. You will make assumptions. But Ruiz reminds us, just do your best, that's all. And importantly, your best isn't a fixed standard. It changes. On a good day, your best might mean deep focus, brilliant ideas, perfect patience. On a rough day, your best might mean simply getting out of bed and showing up. This agreement isn't about perfectionism, it's about presence. It's about doing what you can with what you have in the moment you're in. When you do your best, you silence the inner critic, you bypass regret, you avoid burnout. And you learn to live with integrity, not because of external rewards, but because of how it feels inside. In a world obsessed with achievement, this agreement reminds us that effort, honest, wholehearted effort is enough. The deeper message: rewriting the agreements. These 4 agreements are simple, but living them is hard. Why? Because the old agreements run deep. They've been rehearsed for decades. You're not enough. You have to earn love. Be who others want you to be. To adopt the new agreements, you have to notice the old ones. Awareness is step 1. When you catch yourself spiraling into assumptions, pause. When you feel hurt by someone's words, reflect before reacting. When your inner critic flares up, remind yourself of your intention to be impeccable. Changing your agreements is not about being flawless. It's about becoming conscious. Slowly, you rewire your thoughts. Slowly, your new agreements become your new normal. This isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily practice, a spiritual discipline, a personal revolution. Don Miguel Ruiz doesn't offer a checklist. He offers a mirror, one that reflects how we've been living and who we could become. Freedom, according to Ruiz, doesn't come from breaking rules. It comes from breaking illusions. And the biggest illusion of all is that you have to be someone else to be loved, to be safe, to be whole. The 4 agreements offer another way. A way to speak truthfully, to feel deeply, to love wisely, to live fully. You won't master them in a week, but each time you practice, you reclaim a little more of yourself. So be impeccable with your word. Don't take things personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best, because freedom isn't a place, it's a practice. If this helped you see yourself more clearly, consider subscribing. In our next episode, we'll explore Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman, why your EQ might matter more than your IQ in the game of life. Until then, stay reflective, stay curious. And remember, you are not your programming, you are your possibility.